All right, well, joining us now is Mike Bisinich. Mike marched in the parade with his daughter and was an eyewitness to what went down. Joining him as well is Donna Benedict, who is the president of the Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha. Thank you guys for both joining us tonight. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and the entire Waukesha community as you deal with this tragic event. Mike, I do want to start with you. You were at the parade on Sunday. You marched in it with your daughter. I cannot imagine what you guys have had to deal with and deconstruct since then. So first of all, just how are you and your daughter, and then tell us what happened and what did you guys see that night?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sean. Surprisingly well. That is as far as how myself and my daughter are doing. Yeah, my main objective that night, once I realized what was happening, was to protect my daughter's eyes from as much of the carnage as possible. I feel I did a pretty decent job at that because so far so good. She has been pretty normal, been going to school, had very normal nighttime routines. But again, I knew when I was about to step back out onto the street after I was graciously welcomed into someone's home right off Main Street, I knew that my paternal instincts were kicking in, and I just did my best to guard her eyes from everything that we were about to walk through.
Can I just ask, I mean, what was the scene? I don't mean to get really graphic here, but was it just everywhere you looked, just tragedy all around, or was it in one direction? I mean, how bad was it from where you guys were?
Yeah, I don't want to go into terrible detail, guys, but yeah, there was just, bodies to my left, to my right, in front of me. And again, I had a sense before I got off the street that when we walked back out onto the street about 5-7 minutes later, that it was going to be pretty bad. It certainly was. My heart, as broken as it was, felt really good to see about maybe 6 to 10 people per body, per person laying on the ground. So I had a good sense of solace that there was nothing much else I could do to help these people. I did have to fight the urge a little bit, but again, that Waukesha is a very, very special place. And so it was not surprising to me to see everyone who jumped in.
Don, if I understand correctly, you had students who were marching in that parade, but a truck actually shielded them from Brooks' SUV. Was there time for people to react, or was everything just happening too quickly?
Yes, we did. So we had about 40 students from our school, along with a partner elementary school that we were walking together. One of the aspects of our kids, we had a teacher with his own pickup truck that was, we had decorated for the parade. And just by the grace of God, the kids kind of had all, just before the SUV came through, the kids had all just somehow moved into the front of the truck. They had been walking on the sides. And so they were shielded by that pickup truck that our teacher was driving. And so it was very fortunate for our students, but also they saw horrific and as the SUV plowed through.
So, both of you, what support is being provided to the students to deal with this?
So we are a Catholic Archdiocesan High School. We received the phone calls immediately as the accident in the SUV was unfolding. And so we engaged our crisis response team on Sunday night, put together plans for immediately for Monday morning. Our students, we called off school formally, but opened the building. We had our whole faculty was here, all of our guidance counselors. We have licensed therapists that were all on hand. Several priests were here at school, and our students wanted to be in the building. So we had counselors on hand, and then in the afternoon, we held a community-wide mass for those victims who couldn't be with us. We were praying for them and praying for our whole community. As Mike said, Waukesha is a very special place, and hundreds of people came and gathered together with us in our school to pray together. That's, we know, our foundation of faith. That's where we find strength.
Right.
Amen to that. Mike, before we let you all go, I know that the number of injured has actually risen to, I believe, 62. How is the community coming together to support people, not just in the school, but the whole community?
Yeah, I'll kind of lean back on a little bit what Donna was just saying, because I'll give you guys one more glimpse or insight into the tragedy from my perspective. Certainly the fact that we have a lot of children in our community that saw things that they're not supposed to see is going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort. But I did have a little bit of solace in my heart as I was walking my daughter back to our car that night, knowing that I was going to get to come to this school the next day. I know not everyone who was at the parade could say that, but again, for me personally, knowing that I was going to get to come back to this school, to this organization, and be with my school family, but also know that we are going to be able to attack this a little bit differently and talk to these kids from a Christian perspective, gave me that solace again as I was walking home that things were going to be okay. And I think a lot of how we are going to support the greater Waukesha community as CMH, as Catholic Memorial, is through what we always do, which is prayer, which is service, and which is helping our brothers and sisters out. That's what this school is about.
Well, I know that many are glad for you all and the hope that you can share and the comfort that you are bringing. We're glad to know that you all are safe this evening and your families, and our hearts continue to go out to all who are affected by this in Waukesha. Donna, Mike, appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you very much for allowing us to be with you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.